Comedy Store Podcast, guys. I'm Rick Ingraham.
I'm Eleanor Kerrigan.
We got Mr. Michael Kosta with us today.
Hey guys, thanks.
God, that is a good podcast voice.
It is my podcast voice, or it's my normal voice with the mold of the basement mixed in. Right?
That could be.
There is a fresh smell in here. Is it new paint? Is that what I'm smelling?
Fun of me,
I was
or-
gonna
No,
say.
I'm not making fun of you.
Yeah.
You always
It
smell
gets hot
good.
down here.
You always smell good.
Lots of people commented. Brody was having breathing issues
Was
due
he?
to the paint smell.
He had his shirt over his nose.
Yeah,
It was great.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
Not
been-
as a joke, as like he's having breathing issues.
legitimately concerned. It's been about 2 months now, and there's still a lingering scent. I think it's moist down here.
Those
so
people.
the scent
So
doesn't
he
leave.
truly felt like there was breathing issues.
yeah, he several times pointed out that he might not be able to stick around
Oh
due
my
to it.
gosh.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you know Brody.
And then he
I know him
stayed.
a little bit. I know him a little
You're
bit.
neurotic?
I know I'm not neurotic at all. I mean, I was gonna. I don't think I am. Did I sound neurotic there? Am I
That's more-
neurotic?
I would
That's
say
more insecure.
erotic.
Yeah.
That's how.
I'm not erotic at all. I don't buy that. Like, if somebody came down here for an hour and said they had real breathing issues, I don't think that's real. I don't.
Yeah, I don't even. I think the mold that exists in this basement is something that hasn't seen anywhere else in generations, for sure.
It's like a. What was the rock that made Superman powerful? Not kryptonite. It's the other
The
one that
opposite.
like powered him. That's what this mold is. It
I think
powers
you're right.
all of our creative brains to write original and funny material.
This is
True.
this
I
is
wish
the
I
mold
saw
that killed the
Superman to know what we're
dinosaurs.
talking about.
That's how I look at it.
Oh, they killed the dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's a special type of place down here. It's great. Every time we tell someone we're going down here to do the podcast, they're like, "Wait,
What?
down in there?"
I know.
Especially girls. They're like, wait, what's
Yeah.
in the basement?
No.
We're like,
Yeah.
No black people will do it.
That's not true. Well, yeah.
We asked Leslie. She totally was like, "Oh hell no, I'm not
Really?
going down there." I
That's
She's
asked,
funny.
a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
So it's like,
You think you could just,
I
figure
asked
it out.
Gerard
Kill them.
last night, and he was like, "Where is it?" I'm like, "Down there."
I told you, Ron.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, maybe we'll do like we'll record somewhere else. I'm just like, really? He's like, I don't want to go down in the basement. I'm
Are
like,
black people afraid of
Ghosts, yeah.
Ghosts, yes, and cops, yes, and
Okay.
basements and basements.
possibly
Are they?
basements. I don't
Maybe
know.
it is basements, but
Do
it's
black-
definitely haunted here. So there is a fear of ghosts.
Of
down
ghosts.
here. But I don't feel it anymore.
Didn't they used to do abortions down here?
Oh, that was upstairs in the belly room.
That was upstairs in the belly room. How
You bring
appropriate.
that up.
Yeah, you take that up. You
You
don't.
take that upstairs. You don't bring that.
That's
down.
why we let the ladies perform up there
Right, yeah.
back in the day. Like, you guys have dominated this room for a long time,
I think they were just talking about our acts, but that's.
so you never
Killer.
can tell.
Yeah. it's
So
true.
wait, they did serious
That's what they
abortions.
said. I
That
don't
was the
know.
alleged story.
But that's,
Have you ever seen? Because I'll be
An
at that
abortion?
an abortion.
Oh.
You ever seen an abortion? I have.
in the belly room?
In the belly
A
room.
lot.
Yes, there are a lot
Several
of
times
deaths
on
in
stage.
the belly room. Most of them are at some of those bringer shows that we're very thankful for because they fund this great place.
Kind of.
Have you ever stood at that outside bar? I'm sure you have. And the haunted house tour comes up,
Oh yeah.
and they park the
Yeah,
van.
I've seen that. Yeah.
I've always wanted to hear their little spiel about the Comedy Store because I'm sure you can just make up anything.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, because they've never been in the building.
And it's like
Set
German
up.
tourists, it's like people that Rick's about to make fun of in his act,
Yeah.
and it's like what you can tell them.
bring them in. Bring them in.
Yeah.
There was an Unsolved Mysteries episode about it back in the Robert Stack days where they talked
yeah.
about the Comedy Store being haunted.
And
No
we
shit.
Had people
Yeah.
come in. We had mediums. I remember that a
Yeah.
million different times.
You did,
Mhm.
and do what?
Just to check to see if it was
Sense
really
the energy.
haunted.
Mitzi was a firm believer in the haunting,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, she spoke.
she
of
wanted
Gus.
verification.
Mhm. She called one of them Gus. I don't know why.
Gus.
Yeah, I don't know who told her his
Well,
name.
if I may share something, and maybe it wasn't private, and now I'm going to make it public, but recently you opened that main door,
Mm-hmm.
and I was a bit startled because you closed the door and it opened another door,
Oh,
Yeah.
and that scared me. Was it okay to share that?
That's fine.
That was
That's
fine.
Yeah, I mean,
so maybe that
poetic.
was Gus.
If we have
Yeah.
if we have any black comedians listening, now they're definitely
Now
not going to come
they're
down
yeah,
here.
thanks.
But
Great.
If there's one thing I know about black comedians, they love comedy podcasts. I mean, they
Ian Edwards
download.
said he'd do it.
He'd do
so,
it? Even
yeah,
down
we'll
here?
see. Yeah.
all right.
Who
He
did?
said Ian Edwards. He
Donnell
said
Rawlings.
Donnell Rawlings said no.
No, he did.
Oh, he already did it. Oh,
He did the door guy one.
There you go. See,
There's
we
a
get
door
on
guy
that.
podcast.
Yeah.
What else is there? Is there a waitress podcast? Is
So-
there?
We're going to start
We
one.
should, yeah, there
We
should be.
See, why not?
I don't
Someone
see-
asked.
That's me. I've graduated, but I'm still doing it.
Someone said, "Wait, Bill Burr did the Door Guy podcast, but he
Yeah.
won't do the Comedy Store podcast." And I go,
We never asked them,
"There's
really.
this 5 minutes long. People are pretty willing to do a
Oh, is
five
it
minute
5
interview.
minutes?
They just interview a bunch of comics, right? Yeah, because they asked me last night. They're like, "Hey, we do the Door Guy podcast," and I felt guilty because I know how tough it is to get
Yeah.
people to the podcast. So I was
Sure.
like, fine, I'll do it. I came down here and they interviewed me. They asked me like 2 questions, and they're like, "All right, thanks." I'm like,
That's it.
That's it. Just get 5 out there.
That is
People
helpful.
on a smoke break listen
Yeah.
to a podcast. But I'm guessing they compile them up. So yeah, they weren't very interested. They wanted to know, what would you tell your 3-year into comedy self?
Okay,
I
so
was
is it like a here's how you get better at comedy type thing?
maybe that's
Maybe.
it. They're looking for the expertise.
I don't want other people to start comedy anymore. There's enough people
I think
doing
you're right.
comedy.
Yeah.
Stop advising people on how to improve their comedy.
Yeah,
if
I-
anything, we should all get together, every comedian, and go, from now on,
This is
all
what we tell
advice
them. We
is,
don't
is,
encourage.
is bad advice.
We tell them, just do what Rick Ingram's done for 14 years. You will get nowhere. There will be no competition in terms of getting jobs. That's what they asked me. I was like, what would you tell young comics? I'm like, just to do the opposite of everything I did. Oh, but you're funny. I'm like, and no one cares.
Funny has
That's the
nothing
key.
to do with success, if that's what
Really
you're looking for.
I would recommend not working on your act at all and just working on kissing people's asses and
Yes, that's
politicking
good.
yourself as much as possible.
I hate that probably is a lot true, but I hope it's not all true, 100% true.
Where did you start comedy?
I started comedy, and my first set ever was in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and the Midwest is a great place to start. There's a lot of stage time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of audiences that are kind and rewarding
Yeah.
and not assholes.
They are a lot nicer.
They're just nicer, and industry is never going to
They
show
don't
up.
exist. Yeah.
So
Right.
so you can
you got a long
develop
time to
in a
develop.
safe environment over and over and over again.
This sounds
and-
like advice.
Shit.
You've
God damn
completely
it.
ruined your own
It's
plan.
probably because as humans we are optimists. So I'm trying to.
You know
to
what I think
help,
he's
but
doing, though? He secretly was trying to make doing comedy in the Midwest sound good.
Sound
When
fun.
it-
True.
So
yeah. Like
we just
go to
sent
the
them all.
Midwest.
They'll all be in St. Louis.
There
That's
are-
what- that was Ron White. He's like, yeah, start in St. Louis.
Is that what
I'm
he
like,
said?
St.
Yeah.
Louis.
so that's the comedy hotbed.
What he was saying was like to get into those clubs that have clubs all over that can book
Sure.
you, then book you.
Yeah,
Like,
Sure.
the Funny Bone headquarters or something is
right,
there. I think
did
he was
the,
saying.
Funny Bone, and the owner really liked him. So like even when he was young, developing, he got road work. Like that was. You
I just don't want to go on the road ever.
Right.
Yeah.
You
I just don't want to travel. I grew up in Middle America,
Yep.
and with enough
really don't
enough
wanna
hard work,
travel? That's amazing.
I just don't ever want to have to go there again. I don't
I
even want
just-
to go see my family.
I just
I want
remember-
them to come here.
I just fucking remembered that 3 weeks ago when I was in Kansas City,
oh yeah,
these 2 fucking people came up to me and were like, Rick, some relation.
That was
Did
my aunt.
Is your aunt?
my aunt.
Someone was
my
like,
aunt Jody.
Yeah, it was like my nephew's Rick, and I was like Rick, and they're like Rick Ingraham, and they're like, do you know him? And I was like, yeah, I fucking know Rick, you know.
Yeah.
And but they didn't like get. And I was like, we could perform together all the time. He was on my podcast, blah blah blah. And but it was just like I forgot that you're from.
Yeah.
That is the dead center of the United States.
It really, yeah, I mean, I like to think of it as being at least 500 miles from nowhere,
From nowhere.
in all directions.
You'll love this. The guy that picked me up at the airport was former military, and he was discharged honorably. And he told me, as only a true Kansas City resident could, and as someone that went to college in Champaign, Illinois, I get it. He said that after New York, L.A., and Chicago, Kansas City was the next main
The mob
terrorist
hub.
threat.
Oh, is that right?
And I was like,
Oh,
are you fucking out of your mind? I was like, you are by far in the safest.
Yeah.
You are in the dead center of the country, and you're with people that would love it if a terrorist attacked. They got fucking guns, and they're
Yeah.
ready to
Wait
go.
to fight. Yeah.
I mean, I remember I was still in Kansas City on 9/11, and you
Yeah.
turned on the news, and the whole world was in chaos, and no one knew what was going on, and nothing changed all day.
Yeah, everything was
everywhere in
fine.
Kansas City. It's just like, well, I mean, it's basically another country. New York. I mean,
Oh, it's
what are we losing? You know, some creepy, weird, gay Italians or something.
Oh,
it is amazing that New York is in our country.
Yeah.
When you go to New York and you're
yeah.
like, and you've seen the rest of this country, you're like, I can't believe this is in our country. It
Yeah.
totally should not be in our country. I was at school in Champaign, Illinois, and when 9/11 happened, and everyone was like, we're next because we've got the supercomputer. And I'm like, everyone fucking wants to make it about them.
Yeah.
You were not next, Champagne. There's no supercomputer in Champagne, is there? I don't know.
One of the
what is that?
That's my stripper name.
It's coming next to the stage. Supercomputer.
Get excited, nerds.
Champagne supercomputer.
C++.
I hope you're ready to hack her mainframe. Here she comes.
Yes.
Yeah, in Kansas, it was all the big thing was always they used to have it was called the Sunflower Ammunition Plant, and it was just like it was the largest bullet manufacturing plant. They made bullets for the army.
Wow.
And so there was always the talk, and I think it closed in like 95, but still everyone was always like, the Russians would nuke here.
Yeah.
So that was like
There's always
really?
that thing.
Yeah.
Well, and if you ever saw the movie, what's the movie where they take over Colorado, the Soviets, Red Dawn.
Oh, Red Dawn,
yeah,
right.
classic.
In Red Dawn.
In my head, I'm like,
One of
Colorado.
the first places that they claimed the Russians nuked was Kansas City, and so in Kansas City, people were always used that as
For
evidence
the bullets?
For the bullets.
It's not that hard to make bullets, is it?
Listen, we made a lot of bullets.
And did
Yeah, you're right. We made a lot
did
of bullets.
in 95 did the U.S. military start using less bullets? Were we firing less?
I assume we just started making our bullets in China,
Yeah.
like a good country.
They outsourced it. Yeah, that's great.
Philly is Philly a big you're Philly.
I'm Philly.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone.
Where are
has
you on the
bullets.
nuke list?
Where are you on the terrorist list?
Everyone has bullets. I don't think anybody wants to nuke us because they're, why bother? I don't know.
Just
I
your
don't
sports
think about
fans.
it. Yeah, our sports fans, they hate us. But I just, I don't know if we have right now the Democratic.
That's right.
Yeah, why did they
Perfect
pick Philly?
opportunity.
I think she's trying to get the black vote.
Sure.
I don't know.
Is it a black city? Is Philly a black? It is.
98%.
I didn't know that.
Me neither.
I mean, then we got
Rocky.
the
Rocky was black. That's right. I forgot about that.
A lot of people don't
know
realize.
that Rocky was black.
Italians, the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Italians.
called the Moors. You understand? Yeah.
I don't
They
understand.
get mad when I say that.
I don't
but
understand.
We'll see what happens.
That's actually not clear, but
Okay.
we'll accept
The
it.
Moors
I
took
see-
over Italy.
I didn't know
Northern
that. Okay.
Africans. Yeah, all right.
Oh, got it.
They
Okay.
invaded Italy, and that's why they say they're so dark.
I never been to Philly.
It's my favorite place in the world.
You really love it?
Absolutely love it.
Wow, that's so
And you've
bizarre.
lived here many years
Yeah.
more than you've ever lived in Philly.
No.
No.
A little under.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost even. Almost
Okay.
even. Yeah. But my family, my mom's still in the same row home we grew up in. Everybody either moved up the street or around the corner. Nobody left.
You know,
I had a niece come out. And
Your
already-
father's still alive, right?
Yes, my father is
Okay.
still alive.
Do you know what her father does?
Rick
He's a
knows.
typewriter man.
Isn't that
Typewriter
unbelievable?
repairman.
Yeah, it's,
He is holding on. I
Yeah.
mean, this
Hold on.
motherfucker is like,
Mike.
it's coming back.
That's why he hates that his daughter's stripper name is Supercomputer.
Why
Why
couldn't it
couldn't
be?
you pick typewriter?
Lord,
Yeah.
you keep spiting me.
You couldn't pick ribbon?
Just
Ribbon?
once.
I was going to try to think of a typewriter name. I don't even know I come up with a typewriter
A
name.
Royal and Underwood.
Oh, but
I'm
there,
sorry.
there we
That's
go.
uncomfortable.
Well, it is. You grew up. You
IBM
grew up with.
Selectric 3, huh? Get wild. Let's
God,
go. Smith
it is
Corona. Come
getting
into the stage,
steamy
ladies and
down here.
gentlemen.
Hipsters like computers. That's
Absolutely.
excuse me. I mean typewriters. That's like in Brooklyn. They're like expensive again.
Oh yeah,
Typewriters.
and now they have them. I learned on Joe Rogan's podcast that they have typewriters. You can put it has a USB, and you put the little iPad, and you can type on the old school computer, and it types on your iPad.
And the
And it
thing
has
actually
ribbon
shoots
and
up and
everything.
hits the iPad, and it puts.
And they,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the old ones with the keys.
I mean,
What'd you say?
what a
I said like the
douche.
keys actually run up
Yeah.
and hit the iPad and touch the iPad.
You just put the
And then-
iPad in there.
and
They
then-
just
touch screen
break
style.
the screen. It's like a
That's
shattering.
smart.
No, I'm just
That's
kidding.
very
But
smart.
yeah, isn't that silly that they? I was going to
Yeah,
get
I mean,
one for my dad.
this
just-
is part of the reason why we just need to eliminate the hipsters.
I
Yeah.
agree. My
Yeah.
dad, I called him the other day, and I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Fixing a typewriter." And I go, "Are you fucking with me right now?"
Is
You're
for
still
real?
doing that, Dad?
Being serious, hey girl, the neighbor.
I
had a
clean
typewriter.
muskets.
Yeah.
Really? That's your? Yeah, that's what I do.
Muskets.
I was trained to do it. I ain't gonna stop.
He's got it all.
Have you been to a shoe repairman anytime recently?
I always
Yes.
wondered about the
Yeah,
one.
you
There's
have?
a great one on Beverly.
Well, because I took one recently as well, and it was so funny to me.
It's got to look dingy.
It
If
just
it's
still
dingy-
feels like it's 1865.
Yes.
I mean, he's
You're
got
going to
like
the cobbler.
It's a
You've gone
cobbler,
to a
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
cop like that has not changed.
and they're
like,
amazing.
they're great
at
And
what they do.
In New York, everyone has a shoe guy because your shoes wear
Yeah.
out, and it's
You're
like
always
See,
walking.
that has not changed.
I don't think I own any nice shoes. I just own
Well, I have my-
sneakers, and then I
Oh.
just get rid of them and buy a new pair. Because I always wondered, people, obviously, you guys take your shoes to a shoe repairman. I made fun of it one day, and someone was like, "Yeah, I mean, if you need your nice pair of shoes replaced,
You can save them. You can keep them
what?
for years.
I mean,
they polish them
crazy.
up. They do the heel, and they kill it.
I own one pair of dress shoes. I think that's really the issue. So
Yeah, and when do you wear dress shoes?
Funerals.
As a comedian. Funerals.
I wear them at funerals.
Do you walk a lot at the funeral? Or
I try to.
your heels
Walking funerals are very good for dress shoes.
Listen,
But women take their heels there a lot, right?
Oh yeah.
Are you a heel girl?
A wedge. I'm more of a wedgie. Wedge.
Okay.
That came out
Can you
wrong.
tell me the difference? I know this.
Wedgie.
I'd like to be wedged
The
and then
wedge.
heeled.
This is a wedge.
Okay, she's lifting her legs up onto the table,
Yeah,
ladies and
this is a
gentlemen.
wedge.
Oh, that's a
It's
wedge.
Flat, like,
Okay.
and the heel is just that one. I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
I'm not that girly. So I always look like Butch in the heel. Like I feel like I walk like, I don't know.
Some
You're a
women
Rough
just
Rider.
don't
A bull.
walk well in heels. Period.
Oh, I've seen it. and
You've
it's
seen
gross.
it. Yeah.
One of my favorite things ever is watching the drunk chicks
So
walk down the
funny.
ramp next door in their heels, just very slowly. You can tell they're
Bold-legged
4
woman-
drinks in.
A
Just
bold-legged woman and some killer
Yeah.
heels is always funny.
You can always tell a woman that got dressed up for an occasion, an event, and it's like 90 minutes in, and her there's blister, and you kind of feel for them because you're like, it's nice that you tried,
right.
but now
I don't like it if they take the shoe off at the end of the night and walk around barefoot.
you got to own it all night, huh?
That
bothers
beat
you.
A bitch down.
Yeah, I'll beat a
Beautiful.
bitch down.
Good.
That's disgusting.
I'm just happy that someone has standards. You know what I mean?
good.
Because
Well, I'm
it
from
doesn't even.
Philadelphia. We have standards.
I
That's
don't
why
know.
we're not on the terrorist list.
Yeah.
It makes sense. They respect
like
it.
us.
They're like,
Yeah.
no.
No, we
They
like
are
you.
beating women
We
there.
like-
We like how much you hate
Philly-
everything.
Philly stays.
We have a lot of guns too, though.
I would think Philly would have a shitload of guns. I mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of wasn't that our first capital?
Yes,
Yeah. It was
absolutely.
Boston,
Yes.
or Philly was-
It was Philly, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had the Philadelphia
Independence
Convention
Hall,
there,
yeah.
and yeah, I think Ben Franklin
Oh.
used to
Did
hang
something.
out there or
What do you
something.
mean?
He partied
Yes,
there.
he's from
He partied
yes.
there.
He
He
did
was
a lot
sleeping
of.
with Betsy Ross while
That-
she was knitting.
God, that's all American.
He was playing with a kite and she's knitting.
She made him Stars and Stripes drawers. He was the first to rock the
Philly seems
She
like it
knitted
has
a
a,
flag boxer.
it has a chip because it's New
Making
York.
fun of our
New York.
broken bell.
Well, yeah, I was doing a
it was a double
long-winded
entendre.
bell
Chip.
metaphor because it's not New York and it's not Boston, and they're also and it just seems
Yeah.
Well, we're
like
way better than Boston.
I know that
Don't
you
make me get
I know you
angry.
feel that, and I may even believe you.
You may
I'm just
believe me.
saying.
I'm telling
I
you
would say the
facts,
country's
Jack.
perception.
Yeah.
If you had to rank the 3 major
Northeastern
northwestern
cities,
northeastern
I
cities,
will, yeah. And
But you're
Boston
from there.
loses every time.
it would. I don't like Boston. I've never
I
liked
love
Boston.
Boston, but
I
it's
prefer
not-
Philly. Okay.
Yeah, it's not
I
Philly.
think most Americans would go
Philly
New
can
York,
help me get angry.
Boston, Philly, and I think Philly would
Yeah.
be a deep number 3.
Yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
like they'd pick Connecticut over Boston.
3 major northeast
Boston.
cities.
See, most of us from Middle America have never been to any of those cities. Maybe
True.
New York. Like
I know you've been to New York.
New York's the only one of those 3 cities I've ever been to.
You've never been to Philly? We're gonna have to do a show.
Never
in
been to Philly. You know, if I don't make it, I'll survive. I mean,
that-
I'd
really?
go. I'd go.
It's like a New York that isn't
With
yuppie.
better food. With better
I don't know. I'm not going to say the food thing. I don't know. I know New
I
York's
just
good
told
food.
you.
I don't
Okay,
think I don't think I can eat the food
There's
though in
nothing-
Philly.
And-
It seems like there's gonna be a lot of hoagies and things that.
Hoagies, yeah.
Yeah, I can't eat that stuff.
Oh,
Too
you
many
can't
carbs.
eat it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
There's a lot of fuck yous in Philly.
Yeah.
I mean, but I went out there.
Fuck you.
I went out exactly. I went out there in Philly.
Where did you do helium?
No, I've never performed in Philly, but I was covering for Pizza Hut. Not trying to brag.
That's exciting.
The World Pumpkin Chucking Championship, which is in Delaware. But Delaware, where do you fly into
Yeah, you
Delaware?
can't do
It's
that.
Philly.
Yeah.
I mean, can't even
2
name a
hours
city.
away, yeah.
So we flew into Philly and we stayed over one night and we went out and we had what was like a yuppie area. It was really fucking nice. I was like, Philly, look at Philly trying to be all like.
Oh, you must have went to Center City.
I don't know. I have no idea.
We have a few hipsters coming down into my
course.
mom's neighborhood, which
Uh-oh.
is hilarious. So
Are they
if you see these-
gentrifying?
Yeah. you
Well,
see
they got to
these,
get their
like-
typewriters fixed. Yeah.
You
They
see
know the
these,
guy.
like, guys with these tight jeans on and the creepy hats and the weird.
I
beards.
expect Philly to really
I thought
beat
they
the
would
shit
beat
out
the
of us.
shit
Yeah,
out of
for
them.
sure.
Yeah, I saw them talking like on Passyunk Avenue. I saw this guy. I was like, "Whoa, he's in the wrong place."
Yeah.
And then he walked right into a guy in a velour fila suit with like,
Yeah, a real man.
dress
You
shoes
mean
on, dress shoes on, and I'm like,
a
"Oh,
real
here-
East Coast man?
Yeah.
shit's coming down
Yeah.
now, brother."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they don't mind. They sell them the houses. That's their big thing right now. The South Philly mob.
I went down to Crenshaw Boulevard. I took it south, like well past the 10. Okay, so we're getting in Inglewood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's Crenshaw. It's Crenshaw.
Yeah.
But there's this right where the exposition line, that the train that goes to the beach now.
Yeah.
It goes through all that, and it's like there's this huge maybe movement of like selling homes cheaper along the train line because
You can get to the
rich white people can still get to the Santa Monica on the
Right.
train.
Right.
So I went down there just to look at homes because I'm kind of like not even close to buying, but this stuff interests me, like how cities.
I
It is
love that.
it is crazy. Like right along the train line, there's these beautiful renovated homes for cheaper than up here, but not that much cheaper. And then you go like 2 blocks, and it's like 9 brothers playing handball, and I'm like, this is going to be interesting when these people move in,
The mix.
and they mix
Yeah.
with those people. It's going to be
I think
fucking
it would
wild.
be great.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea because I'm an excellent handball player.
Okay, great.
So.
get you down there.
I
Get
don't
you
know
working,
if
girl.
I don't know, and I'll say black community because you have to say black community. It is. I don't. Do they want fucking? I
don't think they want hipsters.
33-year-old white people to move in with their fucking Maltese dog.
I mean, as long as they don't bother them or
Yeah.
call the cops on them or
Yeah.
whatever, or, like they're being loud. Like that's a thing I feel white people do. Like I grew up across the street from a playground. The playground would get really loud.
Oh hell yeah!
Every time we had like an uppity white family that thought, oh, we're going to move in the inner city.
Right.
And they'd move in that corner house. They'd call the cops.
On-
And then
on-
the kids just wreaked havoc.
on the
those people.
kids?
Yeah.
These kids are
Oh, so they tormented
officer.
those
They're
people.
truly acting like children.
Yes, they're truly
They
being
are
loud
children.
like children
Yeah.
in the summertime. So the kids would just break their windows.
Oh,
and just
fuck
torment
yeah.
them until
Clearly.
they moved. So that's how it works. I mean, as long as you don't bother them,
Don't fuck
they
with
won't
them.
bother you.
Yeah.
So that's
I was
my
thinking
mom's
about
lived
making
there
some
for
maybe
years.
some barbecue and just delivering it to them. Would that be a nice thing
I
to
think
do?
that's a
that?
good
That'd be
idea.
way.
That's the
I'm
Kansas
just
City
kidding.
way.
That was
Yes.
That's
that was
the Kansas.
that was the
That's
closest I could
ballsy.
get to racist.
Good.
to
We
what I just
told
said.
you we
That's
expected a lot
ballsy
out
of
of
you
you.
to
would never
bring
fucking-
barbecue over
No, I
there.
think I'll bring some tennis rackets to say, hey guys, you want to play a
Now
match?
that's
Yeah.
a sport.
Not a bad
for
plan.
them, Yeah.
The-
I forgot you
It
played
worked-
tennis.
I'm a
right?
tennis guy. Yeah, I'm a tennis guy.
Like for real, like professional.
I played
or-
professional tennis, and there's actually a
Amazing.
great tennis facility in Crenshaw that I saw that I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Aren't the Williams sisters from Compton or something?
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I think you're
Just
right.
watch the documentary on her. She's unbelievable.
She
I mean,
is
they both are, but Serena really obviously sticks out.
emotionally, physically, mentally, she is a beast. I mean,
Unbelievable.
she is like, and I mean that in a complimentary
Yeah.
way.
Absolutely, yeah.
I loved like 3 years ago she lost to Kim Clijsters in the U.S. Open final, and she lost on a code violation, which is rare in tennis. It's like you lose because you get penalized for something you said.
Right.
It's like what other sport? Like
So
can you imagine
bad.
a basketball if like you
Yeah.
you got
That's-
the other
that-
team got
because it's-
yeah, maybe it happens, but it's just hilarious.
No, that's an uppity sport.
Uppity
tennis.
sport.
It's different.
But this woman called a foot fault on her, and she grabbed the tennis ball and she said, "I will shove this ball up your fucking ass. You don't know me." And she
That's
got
my girl.
and I was like, I love that she brought that to tennis.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
that she showed like don't fucking fuck with me. I love that. That's
Yeah.
what I love about her.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Well,
her and McEnroe. Just throwing shit, breaking shit.
And nowadays McEnroe wouldn't even exist because they have computers that you can like challenge the line calls with.
yeah.
So back in the day, what was so funny about McEnroe was he was right. When he would get mad at the
Yeah,
umpire, it was like he was
He would
always
lose his
right.
mind.
Yeah.
It's because they were fucking wrong. And now that wouldn't even exist. And what a great person for a sport.
Yeah.
McEnroe, even though like England and Wimbledon hated him and all that shit, but he was
Good.
great. Yeah,
They hate
good.
Serena.
we don't
Oh,
need we don't
English.
need England telling us how to act.
Get him, Ricky.
I thought we won that war. Am I
I'm
right?
100% Irish. You get him, Ricky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
you
it's
get
all
'em.
about.
You get
Screw
'em.
those Brits.
Get those shit Brits.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
I never,
Came out
I was never good at tennis.
No?
I only played a couple times. We had to play like growing up in gym class. My buddy Justin was great. He was like one of the best in Kansas for our age group or whatever. But
Jack Sock is from Kansas
he would
City.
just
I
kill
believe.
me.
Oh, nice.
He's
Good
like
reference.
he's like a top 30 in the world, maybe.
I don't know.
I know he's a big listener to this podcast.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
call
what I
him.
heard.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
definitely.
I don't
key
know
him
who that
and see if
is,
he's
but
still-
I just know him as #1 Comedy Store podcast fan.
He's a huge fan.
That's his
he may
Twitter
not be
handle.
top 30. He's like top 80 in the world. I mean, I could see not being good at tennis in Kansas City because in the summer, why would you ever want to stand
Why would you
outside?
want to go outside?
Yeah.
In winter, too cold.
Too cold.
I love it.
You have a
I do
total
love
of 6
tennis.
weeks
I was gonna say, when
in
can
a
you
year.
go outside? Like September
You got
30th?
You got about four.
East Coast, yeah.
You got 4 weeks in the fall that are really nice, and you have about 2 weeks in the spring because it would be 4 weeks, but at least 2 of those weeks it's just pouring rain
Pours
and
rain.
thunderstorms. So
Yeah.
you
So-
got about
Yeah, it
6
rains a
weeks
lot, yeah,
total.
yeah.
What?
Year-round.
So why live there? You live there because you were born there, but like,
Right.
what's the industry there? Is there a benefit to living in Kansas City?
I mean,
Barbecue that happens in
that's-
Austin too.
yeah, that's
Royals?
their big
The
thing.
Royals, yeah,
They
Royals
won
are
the World
good.
Series.
But
last
we've
year?
only been good for 2 years.
Yeah.
We had solid 29 terrible years
Did you?
leading
Okay.
up to that. I don't really know what brings people there. I think it used to be huge in the cattle industry and beef industry.
There
It
we
was,
go.
it was a major, yeah, like all the cows they kept in Kansas and they'd ship them to. The mob would ship them to Chicago and then to New York and whatever it
It
was.
was a halfway point too for them.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
It was, Kansas City was a big mob town for.
It's not your business.
I didn't
years,
know
but-
Kansas City was a mob
A
town.
little
Yeah.
bit, a little bit. So it's called,
Actually, although-
called a layover.
Although Craig Glazer may have told me that he was part.
Hold on. Let me tell you something,
You
buddy.
know Stanford and Sons. You know that club?
No, but
Oh,
Rick's
okay.
talked
Rick-
about
Rick's-
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
out of his mind. Out of his mind, that guy.
Rick
Well,
told me a great story on my podcast that he offered to pay you in Coke,
Yeah.
but he only owed you $15.
Yeah.
So we were like, how much Coke is that?
Yeah,
like
like-
the bag. You can look at the
Can
bag.
you get high?
Yeah.
Is that
That was the
You
best.
want you just want to look at this key bump? That's all you get.
It's
What?
a key bump.
I
Yeah.
don't
what are
know.
you talking about?
It's so great.
So did you have fun? Were the shows good there?
I did have fun. I mean, he is
Did he
a
offer you a key bump?
no, he didn't.
He's clean now, I believe.
I think he's clean. I mean,
Buddy.
I think he's clean.
he went to jail for a while.
He
so
went to jail. He did give me his book.
yeah, classic. Once turned into a major motion
Yep.
pictures, represented by the Comedy Store lawyer.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
Really?
yeah, for real.
The Comedy Stores. Yeah, I guess they have a lawyer.
Yeah,
Yeah, we never did before, but now we do.
Now we do.
We had a PR person for a while, but I don't remember a lawyer.
I remember I emailed someone because I couldn't find my La Jolla check, and I emailed someone.
Not that
I
guy.
emailed Emily, and she was like, "Let me check with the accounting department." I was like, "Is this a fucking joke? We
Is
have
that
an
for real?
accounting department? Like what? There's an and I don't
He
know.
doesn't-
And I still don't know if she was.
we do
got
have.
the check, but I don't know
That
if there
we
was.
do have.
The-
yeah.
You do,
and I'll
okay.
just say this: the accounting department does not get spots any longer. Thank God.
They don't
Because
anymore.
Tommy gave the dude spots for a while, and I'd be like, "Why is he on the line?" I'd be like, "Well, he does the accounting here. You got to give him some benefits."
He did stand
was
up
like,
for a
what?
long
Are you
time.
fucking serious?
Yeah.
The
It was-
accountant got spots.
Like
Jesus
real late.
Hey,
Christ.
Mitzi passed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitzi
But she
loved
also
him.
liked having an accountant that would, do the work for. I'm sure
He's
the
a good
nothing they
guy.
paid him.
I mean,
I'm sure he's a good guy, but he's not a fucking stand-up.
He
He's an
narked me out.
accountant.
He's a
He
hell of
narked
an
me out
accountant.
before.
he narks us all out.
Yeah,
please. I've
I'm
had
not
my
a-
fights with
not
him
a
over
fan
the
of
years.
him, but,
Yeah.
Can we
you know.
say his name or we don't want
Bob
to?
Wheeler.
Yeah.
Sure. I
Bob
don't
Wheeler's
care.
the accountant.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Seems like
been
a good
for
accounnt
years.
name, right?
Does seem like a
It's
great
a perfect accountant name. I'll fight Bob Wheeler right now. No,
Me
I
too.
love Bob
I
Wheeler.
love this
I do.
fucking place, dude.
But
The
it-
accountant gets spots.
That's how it is.
Yeah, it's
Everybody
fucking
wants to be a
hilarious.
comic.
Yeah.
When did you show up here?
I showed up here 8 years ago, so 2008, and I met Tommy, and he was like,
Wow.
I don't do I'm the only person that can't do is Tommy.
Rick
See,
can.
I love Tommy. I love to see
See?
Tommy was great to me. So
Yeah.
it's like I love
Me
Tommy.
too.
Not everybody
Average.
says that, but I love Tommy. He was always so supportive of me. But I remember at the very beginning, I came in here, and he's like, "Hey, we want to see you hanging out here."
Yeah,
and I was
that
like,
was
"I don't
always his
want to
thing.
hang out here. I want to fucking perform here." That's
I
like
need to
every
work.
cop. Yeah, I needed to work.
The building needs to like you.
Yeah. The building hasn't hugged you yet.
I used to love when, like, in the beginning, they would say, like, in Michigan, "Hey, if bring 5 friends, you can get stage time." I was like, if I had 5 friends, I wouldn't be doing stand-up comedy. I'd be
Yeah.
hanging out with my fucking friends.
Yeah.
But see, in Michigan, wouldn't that be easier because you're from there? Like when I was here, it was hard because it's like
All I
who
know
am
are
gonna bring?
comics,
All I
yeah.
know is comics.
No, and that's
Who am I
total.
gonna invite?
No, but every bringer show, every comic does the bringer thing once, and then you see that you just used up all your favors. You watched your best friend have to order 2 drinks,
Yeah.
and it was some comedy competition, and the funniest person never wins. The person who brings the most people, and I
Always
felt like
wins.
such an asshole.
Yeah.
I felt like I had to pay for all their drink. I was like, God, what am I
get it.
doing?
I felt the same.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I never had any friends come to my shows in Kansas City, and like when I was getting ready to move to LA, I only told a few people just
Yeah.
because I was like, I don't really like people, so screw them. But like a couple people were asking me if I wanted to go do something, or if I wanted to. I think they wanted me to go to Colorado or something. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be gone.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, where are you going? I was like, LA. And they're like, oh, when are you coming back? I'm like, hopefully never.
Hopefully, I'm never coming back here.
So, but it was like, what are you going to do out there? I'm like, well, I've been doing comedy for a couple of years. And they're like, what?
Where did you start?
I started at Stanford's.
And where did you start? Here?
Comedy Store.
Everyone fucking
But
took.
I
You were
was a-
server first.
I was a server for 12 years.
Jesus
I know,
Christ.
that's sad, isn't it?
Are you? Would you say you know the most about the Comedy Store of anybody? Of anybody?
No.
No, I mean, okay, like Mitzi,
mean-
duh.
No, but they're like we had Carl LeBove on the
Yep.
podcast, and
Yep.
like those guys, they're still around. There's
Yep.
a bunch of them still around that were working more with Mitzi when she was really always here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I started in '93, and she was still driving into the parking lot. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
she was still
yeah.
driving and mobile and coming
Yep,
around.
yep.
But I don't know. And then I was her assistant for a long time, so I got a
Top
lot.
20 knowledge of the Comedy Store. Eleanor Kerrigan, top 20.
I would say
Top
she's
20.
she's
Top
probably
20.
top 10 at least.
Top 10?
Wow, I moved
Because,
up.
I
don't
mean, that was
know.
part
I just
of-
think there's a lot of people. But it is
Yeah,
part of my
it's part of the
whole
reason
adult life.
why I
pretty
was like,
Oh,
get
yeah.
you on as my co-host.
yes.
Because they like
Great choice.
said something to me about wouldn't so and so be great as a co-host, and I think they just felt like they knew that I'm just terrible at getting people to show up, and so then they'd be like, wouldn't they be great?
Sure,
I'd be
you
like,
booked my
you got me.
That's true.
You got me.
And I
What does that
told
say
him, I'm
about
like,
me?
I go, I don't know that person would have anything to add
Yeah.
to the Comedy
Knowledge of
Store.
the store,
Yeah, it's like they've been a paid regular here for a year and a half.
Right.
They're
that's
here once a month. It's
No,
like they're not going to have
Eleanor
any
is
stories
the
about.
perfect,
Yeah,
perfect choice
I
for
love
this.
that. Thank you.
Perfect choice for this. I'm just I'm always fascinated at the history here. I mean,
Yeah, it's my favorite thing is the history here. Like we love interviewing. No offense, but people that like,
course.
worked here too.
Of course.
Because you when you're here every night, and Rick and I were here a lot, like closing this place up.
Sure.
And the shit
Sure.
we see and all.
you
this.
were a door guy?
yeah, I was store guy for 2
got it.
years.
Right, I remember that.
It's
okay.
just a thing. It's just like it's just a great. It's a great place. And
Yeah, I mean,
kinda scary.
A lot of the craziest shit you'll see here are stuff that only happens because you can't leave. You
Yeah.
have to be
Hotel
here,
Right.
Because you're still
California.
on the clock
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Right.
So like when
You
people
can't
ask
leave.
me about stuff, it's like, and like, wow, I can't believe you're there for that. I'm like, I didn't have a choice.
I had
this
to
is
be
how
there for that.
this is how
Yeah.
I lived. So
This
I was
was
always
it.
here really late, but I mean, you can't
it's pretty
experience
humbling.
it.
Like if you can get like after a good set, you can get cocky as we all can, and then anytime you ask about this place, it's like, whoa, it's so humbling, and it's like you
People
see.
have negative opinions about it too, because they're like, it's so hard to get.
Of course.
It's all clicky.
Of course.
When you came here, were comics nice to you?
Not really, but
Aside from me.
yeah, you were always nice to me. I think I met Rick much later, maybe.
Yeah, you were already a
I was
regular when I
already a
met
regular,
you.
maybe. But I remember like when I became a paid regular, I remember like Ari and Steve Renazizi like kind of joking with me about like just like fucking with me, and it was like I wasn't sure if they were like being
Oh, no, they hate you.
they were probably no. Now it's cool. But I remember feeling like, oh shit, I feel like I'm like the rookie
You're
in the
getting
locker
hazed.
room or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was also like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Good. That's
exactly.
a great attitude. I hate
And
when people are afraid of that. That's what
come on,
everything
that's
is.
what this fucking is. That's
Yeah.
what it, and every business, every team is that way.
Yeah.
So, but
You have to prove yourself.
you got to prove yourself, and not everybody believes in you, and they don't have to. But it's just like walking around looking at the headshots still is just hilarious. I mean,
Haunting. How many of them did nothing with their career?
The guy who literally has the horse's ass in his picture.
That's
Yeah.
James Lee Reed.
James Lee Reeves. Yeah.
Yes.
Him, Greg Hilbers is one of my favorites.
Which one's
Just-
that?
He's this creepy dude with an acorn haircut and just the most suspicious mustache of all time. Like, it takes you a solid 2 minutes of staring at it before you're like, is that a mustache? I think that's a mustache.
Was the horse's ass guy funny?
I got to be honest, I don't know him.
You don't know,
I just
but you
knew
know the name?
picture, and I knew
Yeah.
his name because still, like when I started, I mean, obviously he was already not coming here, but it was like
Right.
they were still the new guys were like, oh, the newest, oldest guys,
Yeah.
I guess you could call them,
Yeah.
were like, oh, I remember this bit James Lee Reeves used to do it, and I just laugh, and then one
You'd be
day
like,
I
the-
just
the guy
put
with
it
the horse?
together.
Yeah.
Right.
The horse's ass?
Yeah.
The fucking guy.
So who was the comic? The horse, or was it the person that
The
who was
horse's
taking a
ass
picture
was
with
actually great.
Yeah, I really.
The fact that Reeves got in there was insulting.
I mean, I seem like that was early '80s. I don't know.
But we,
Yeah, it had to be
and-
late 70s, early 80s.
All those headshots were like, make sure your persona goes in your headshot, and it was
I mean,
just
now
so
it's
Zany
funny.
headshot. I wish we could bring back the zany headshot.
Headshot.
Like people, it's like you're comedians. Make sure you got like that.
Yeah.
Crazy
I'm holding the
face.
telephone, but
Yeah.
the cord goes nowhere.
Yeah,
Right.
We used
exactly.
Yeah,
to-
exactly.
I hate that. We used to play a game because we were so dead here sometimes. Is connect the dead comics.
Oh,
on the
shit.
wall. I
Yeah.
know that's dark, but this place
That's
is
You
dark.
do what you had to
It's-
do
Oh
back
my
then.
God.
Truly dark.
And we
when
were
when I got past here, I think it was, I don't know, maybe 12 or 13. No, it's probably like 2011. I don't know. Now seeing where it's at, it was like it seemed like a darker time.
Did Mitzi see
Yeah.
you or did Tommy? Like, did she videotape or come in?
Tommy said that Mitzi
Well,
watched my tape.
She liked what your beats are.
And I don't ever know what the fuck happened, and I don't
Yeah,
ask too
you got
many
passed.
fucking
That's what's-
questions.
yeah.
It's like
No, you're right. As long as you're getting spots, I get it. But
Yeah.
Tommy would give her tapes at that time.
I mean,
and
he-
she would go through them.
He said that she loved me and passed me, but I don't. I've still never.
Yeah.
I don't.
Never met her.
I don't even know if she's a real person. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
She's a
Like,
real
It's a,
person.
I
it's a
believe-
weekend at Bernie's scenario at this point.
That's not fun.
Yeah, I've been
true.
assuring
It's true.
people that
That
since
is harsh,
episode
but fair.
one.
I know Paulie. I know his brother. He always comes to my shows in
Scotty's
La Jolla.
here.
Scotty
Oh,
was
yeah,
here
he's
tonight,
great.
right?
He's
He was here tonight.
Because
Yeah.
Mitzi's birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so like, there seems to be enough evidence that she does exist.
Sure.
And
Her seed is still sprawling like an ivy.
Isn't Scotty great? He comes. I worked La Jolla this weekend.
He
He's so
buys
great.
a
He
fucking
comes every
CD from
time.
me.
I love him.
every single time in La Jolla. This last time, I go, it's the same CD you bought last year. You're not rebuying, but he fucking insists on
The
it.
best. He's
Yeah,
so nice.
yeah.
He came up to me. I was in La Jolla like maybe a month and a half ago, beginning of June, and he came up to me. He's like, "Dude, you're finally funny." I'm like,
Oh
"This
my-
asshole."
Thanks.
Yeah. And then
Thank
he was
you.
like, "Yeah, we're going to." He was with some, I'd say, 25-year-old girl.
Yep.
She was wasted. And he was
That's-
like, "Yeah, we're
that's
getting
very
ready to go.
high,
To,
Rick.
we're going
That's
to
a high.
Why
Mexico."
not?
And
Go to
then
Mexico?
he said he was taking her to
Down
Mexico.
the street.
And
from-
Yeah.
she was like,
Wow.
he goes, "What's your name?" And then she legitimately had to remind him what her name
Oh
was.
my
And he said,
God.
"Yeah, so we're going on vacation." I'm like, "Awesome. Just
He's
awesome."
my favorite shore because he tipped. Every time I brought him something, he tipped.
You tipped.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and that's. I mean,
He's buying
I never- I
CDs. He
guess
already
I never
has.
really brought
He's buying
Peter or
CDs.
Paulie anything or Sandy, but Scotty always got something and tipped.
Yeah. He was always, when I was really young, like
That's
when I was
funny.
in my early 20s, he'd always really go over the top with acting like we were really good friends because I was always the same age as the 20-year-old girl he was with. And he'd be like,
I
"Hey,
love
this is
that.
my buddy
Too.
Rick. Yeah, I told you I have friends your age." It's
Yeah.
like, she thinks I only hang out with her because she's pretty. I'm like, we've never hung
I
out.
don't even
but
know who you are.
Okay.
That's great.
I play along. They're like, "Oh,
I
cool.
love that you're the wingman.
Do you have friends?"
I remember right before I got past here, someone gave me the advice not to hang around the back door.
Well, I like
Isn't that funny? They were
Wait.
like, it gets really bitter and dark, and it was like, don't hang around the back door. I remember years later, like hanging around the back door, and I was like, what the fuck was wrong with this place? But I don't know. I guess it was like where the bad comics hung out. I don't know.
It probably, yeah, it had to be
That's
who the
weird.
doormen were
Yeah,
at
maybe
the time.
It depended on who the doorman
Maybe.
was because maybe they can tend to get bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
back door.
yeah, I could see it. I could
Yeah,
understand
you come here,
why.
you want to be a comic,
Yeah.
and then you're watching all these
Yeah.
people, and you're thinking,
Yeah.
I could be doing that.
When I was a door
Yeah.
guy,
bombing too.
Or like, I know I can do that.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's the thing. It's like great comedy doesn't always inspire you.
Yeah.
It's when you
Right.
see a shitty, mediocre, you're like, I know I can fucking do that.
yeah, that's how, like, when I started working here, I got passed pretty quickly, which was cool, but I didn't get spots.
Yeah.
I'd go up late
That's
night.
the next
Yeah.
step.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I would just, since I was here and I was going to be here till 2, I'd always sign up on the pop-in list, and I'd get up at like 1 in the morning after the whole lineup was done or whatever.
Right.
But I'd always work the back door, and back then Mitzi was still making the lineups, and they were some of the worst comedy shows you've ever seen. Because like it was so bad. She was putting up comics that she was familiar with, basically, who hadn't probably written a new joke in 10 years, and it was awful. And there was
some hanger on her.
She was
there were some great ones that you were like,
sure.
The old
see the
shtick
positive,
was always,
Eleanor.
Yeah, the old shtick was always, she didn't make it very far down the lists, and it was alphabetical, so it'd be like everyone was A through G, and then no one whose name was after that. And it
to
was
be
just
fair,
bad.
I think a lot of national bookers do the same thing.
It's possible. Just go down the list. It was so bad. I would just sit there so mad, and like I started. This is part of what we were talking about earlier, where I was like, I'm really bad at not burning every bridge I come across.
Sure.
So like I'd watch someone bomb for 15 minutes, and then they'd come down and they'd start talking about how hard they crushed whatever it was. And I was the guy. I was the guy who couldn't
so fucking
allow it. And so I was like, well, I'm going to say
that.
something. And all the other door guys thought it was hilarious. But meanwhile, it's like probably people who are producers now or some shit because they realized they were terrible at comedy. It's just like, you're awful, right? And people would be like, whoa.
So that's what you would say.
Yeah. And I would just rip apart how bad they were. You realize you're supposed to be funny when you're up there, right?
Right.
People are like, who
Who
are
the
you?
fuck is this guy?
This fucking asshole.
So this is what happened to your career.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember Paulie, there's a comic named Jeremy Dingle. This guy was
my
the
God.
worst.
Eleanor knows all these people,
You know
man.
Jeremy?
No, I don't know
Oh
Jeremy.
my
Where's his
God.
headshot? What is his
It's a
headshot?
great one.
Yeah.
Is
By the way.
Jeremy Dingle?
Like a-
Hey, look
Yeah.
at my bow tie is upside down.
I mean, that was actually pretty much his act. It was all like, zoo,
yeah.
and he would bomb the whole time.
Yeah, I fired a waitress because she told me he was the next Jim Carrey. And
Yeah.
I said,
Shut
get
up.
out.
Get the fuck out.
the
I
fuck
love that,
out.
Eleanor.
Yes, authority.
You have
not-
bad comedy taste.
I
Get out.
can't allow you to serve drinks here.
So tell me how a guy like Jeremy Dingle or Horse's Ass
Yeah.
or whomever, tell me how they would get past.
I look at it this way. People always talk about how great Mitzi was with names, or like comics, like, she passed Pryor and all these guys.
Sure.
And it's like, yeah, but most of the names
Pryor was
are
already
terrible.
established,
Yeah.
technically.
It's like most of the people she passed were awful.
Sure.
Like, my name got painted right next to Jimmy and Joey. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
So what the fuck? How
To
did that
me,
happen?
I think like she saw something in people. Like
Sure.
there would be the little thing, and sometimes it would work out, and sometimes it wouldn't. And when it wouldn't, she would eventually get rid of those people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weed them out.
Like, they would get weeded out, but
Sure.
they could,
Or they wouldn't get spots, maybe.
Somebody could have a good set at least once
Yeah.
in their shit career, right? And then like that Jeremy Dingle guy,
Sure.
she thought he was so different. She was
Sure.
like, oh, he was like a Letterman to her.
And
He was like
she liked planning, the way she liked to plan shows were that it was truly a comedy variety show.
Yeah.
especially the main room. The main room
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a big variety
Yeah.
show. Always we had women in the front that would sing. I mean, there was Janice Hart. Who was,
Jesus
"I am
Christ.
Bambi, Bambi, Diamond." And she literally screamed at me with a boa around her neck for serving a drink during her act. She's like, "You're ruining my act." I'm
Wow.
like, no, you're ruining
Yeah,
your
you're
act.
Actually, your voice
What I'm
is really
doing
is
is
helping
helping.
your act.
This lady needs
With enough
heroin.
alcohol, they
Right.
might
Well,
just...
there's also probably just weak years.
Yeah.
But
like
that
in like in
woman-
anything.
But that woman was killer in her time.
Yeah.
But then it just ran out.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't. If you don't change with the times, like
Yeah.
there's very few. Like there's Dom Irera, who's been what,
Yeah.
35 years.
Yeah.
You'll never watch Dom and go, he's not with
Yeah.
it. He's one of the best.
Yeah.
There's Dice. They still do it. They still stay
Yeah.
on top
Yeah.
of what's
They're
new.
writing new jokes.
You
They're-
got to
yeah.
keep writing. If you
Yeah.
just keep
If you
writing, you can
don't,
survive.
And
Yeah.
you think
Yeah.
your little 20-minute act is
Yeah.
it, then that's it.
Yeah.
Then because when Sebastian Maniscalco showcased,
Yeah.
it was one of the worst showcases I've ever seen here. in my
Yeah,
life.
is that right?
I'm not kidding. Like they were throwing shit on the stage at him.
Wow.
And he was fresh from comedy class at
Yeah.
Sandy Shore's
Fresh
comedy
off the
class.
Sandy Seashore's comedy
He took
class.
Paulie's sister's comedy class. He's
Yeah.
the only one I've ever met who like
Who
They
the
came from
fuck
something.
did I just talk to that took
said
that
it's-
class?
I think Jesselneck took it.
He,
Oh, Eric Griffin took it.
Oh, Eric
yeah.
Griffin. Maybe
Eric
that
Griffin
was who I'm
took it.
thinking of.
Eric Griffin took it as
Yeah.
well.
I'm sorry.
Jeselnik
Jeselnik
took
the other guy.
a comedy. He took Greg Dean's
Greg
comedy
Dean, that's
class.
it. I knew
Oh
it was
my
here. I knew the
gosh.
graduations
Yeah.
were here because the graduations were here, and Sebastian did the graduation, and it was horrible.
Horrible.
And then
The week I
Sandy?
had today. That was his old opening
Yeah.
line.
The
I watched the
week
tape
I
of one of
had
it.
Wow, so
today.
you know all this because you've watched their
Yeah.
acts a million times.
Yeah.
As a
But
doorman.
Imagine
Yeah.
if she watched him and said, Oh, he's terrible. Get rid of him.
Yeah.
She saw something in him.
No, for sure.
And that's
listen, I
look
was.
what look what he turned into. He's one of the.
I
of the
was
best.
awful. There is no reason on earth why I should have gotten past with the set I did.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, she liked it. I had like 8 seconds up top that she thought was funny, and I
had a
hadn't
good
said
8
a word.
seconds.
Yeah, a strong
8
I had
8
a
seconds.
great 8. No one could beat me in 8 seconds.
No words were spoken. It was just
Yeah.
me acting like an asshole. I still kind of do it sometimes, where it's just me acting like people are really excited to see me, and
Sure.
they're clearly not.
Sure.
Right, like a wrestler. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then,
yeah.
oh yeah, you were funny at the top. You gotta do more stage time. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. And then I wanted to bail out. She's like, where are you from? I'm like, God, she's asked me too many questions.
Yeah. I'm not even listening to you
But
at all.
she loves Midwestern comics. She
Yeah.
thinks the best comic. I think she's from Wisconsin or something, right?
Yeah.
So she thinks best
Is
comics
that where
come from.
Mitzi's from? Wisconsin. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So
The
she loved
shores are
that.
Wis-
That's where it is. Yeah.
But yeah, it was, she passed me, and then she gave me a spot like a week later, and I probably had 4 minutes of material
Sure.
that did
Sure.
not work that
That's
well.
scary too.
Yeah,
To
'Cause-
go up and not have.
Yeah, because like when I moved out here in Kansas City, all I did were impressions. I just wanted to be an impressionist.
Are
I
you
wanted to be on
serious?
Saturday Night Live.
You did fucking
It
impressions?
was awful.
Could not be more further from what you do
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always am like, do more impressions.
Yeah,
it-
that is hilarious.
it was-
Although you did a little accent tonight. You did some. You did the. What'd you do tonight? You did the English.
Yeah,
and the Australian.
yeah.
And I was surprised to see tonight how different your Australian was from your English. That's fucking tough. That was
Yeah.
a nice play.
Thanks.
Nice
Yeah.
play. But tell me what impressions you were doing. This is
please.
hilarious.
I did. I pretty much did all the terrible ones.
Okay.
I like my
Jack Nicholson.
I wish I could
Yeah.
have done Jack.
Yeah.
I did one of my really funny premises that crushed in Kansas City, and when I did it at the open mic here at the Comedy Store for 6 people, just got dead silent. I was like, "Fuck!" I did Jerry Seinfeld if he were on BET.
There we go. That's a great premise.
So just a lot of Seinfeld saying inappropriate things
Sure.
mixed in with rap lyrics.
Sure.
And then I did a George W. Bush impression, but because I was 21 and I looked like I was 16, I had to do. The premise was I was doing the young George W.
Oh,
So
got it.
it was always George W. in college. And it was like he's trying to buy Coke from a Iraqi kid, and he screws him over, and so he vows he'll get vengeance
There we
someday.
go. Nice.
Yeah,
Add a little political
tie-ins.
tie. a
Yeah,
little tie.
exactly.
I bet he has weapons of mass destruction 25 years from now.
So that was the kind of quality stuff. I did an impression of Warwick Davis from the movie Willow, and
Very specific.
yeah,
Is there an impressionist that we like nowadays?
I don't think so.
I don't think that it can exist. I feel like comedy's
even
reached
think of
this
one. Wow, that's
honest,
weird.
raw.
Well, Jeff Richards does.
Jeff
do
Richards
some.
does do impressions.
Some of them are terrible though. Some of them are hilarious, but like a couple of them, people are like, "Isn't that great?" I'm like, "That doesn't sound anything
Doesn't sound
like
like
it."
it. There's just so few.
Yeah,
Letterman even used to do impression week, and he would
Yeah.
have different stand-ups on every week. And it was like, I don't even know if you could book that now.
I'll tell you, in
It'd be
Vegas,
tough.
I work with. Well, when I do shows for the Laugh Factory at the Tropicana, Rich Little does the opening at the 7:00 show or 6:00 show.
Wow,
which is
that's
his turn.
Yeah.
And he's doing Reagan. And
Are you
people that
serious?
No one
the
remembers.
topical classic
He's doing
stuff.
John Wayne. I mean, he's really.
That's
up
like
on
what I
things.
like to bust.
Fucking John Wayne and Reagan.
I like to
Those
bust.
are your those are your fucking two impressions.
When I saw him, I was dying.
Oh, my
I was
God.
Like, this is, but
That's why I
but
always bust Argus's
they're
balls
perfect.
for Vegas.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yeah.
60-year-old people there. I always bust Argus's balls when I see him close with the strong Richard Nixon impression.
Right.
It was me
and-
all along.
And you just see like a bunch of millennials just looking at him like, I don't even know what that means.
Last time I saw Argus, he did something about Richard Nixon, and I was like,
Yeah.
I still don't have a response. I didn't
I
know
know.
what.
I saw him recently do it with the reference was a fucking what was McCain's crazy vice president?
Oh, Sarah
He
Palin?
Sarah
made a
Palin.
Sarah Palin reference, and then we're all waiting for her to tear that mask off. I'm like, wait, Sarah Palin's a dated reference.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
You're taking that into the
Another
Nixon,
dated restaurant?
and even more dated.
But
but-
that rich little guy, I mean,
Crushes.
Crushes. And then the older people come see him because they know him from back in the day.
Sure.
He still does the same stuff.
I don't know who that is.
He's been around I just know.
Just
his
not
name.
my
Who
world.
was the guy
He
that?
never worked here that I know.
Oh, okay.
Of.
Who was
Yeah.
the
He
guy
did,
that was at the Mirage that died?
But he's in his 80s.
He did all the songs, music. Danny was it Green?
Oh yeah, Danny Gans.
Danny Gans.
Yeah, I went to see him.
I went to see him once.
Did you get as angry as I did?
Well, yeah. So my parents,
Yeah.
we like did a family Vegas trip, which
Always a good family
doesn't really
vacation.
work. Yeah,
Yeah.
but whatever. It was cool. And
How
You
old
took
are you at
Janice?
this
You
point?
took
I know
Janice?
I was 27 or 8.
Okay.
It was my mom's birthday, and we did like a Grand Canyon thing, and then we had a couple nights in Vegas with Janice, my mom. Thank
That's
you.
my
and
favorite when he does that in his act.
Janice.
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 Just yells at her. I love it.
So we all went to Danny Gaines, which is like, he opens by saying he's got like the 13th best Christian rock album or whatever, but he does impressions, and he's dead now, so rest in peace.
Yeah.
But
Free to be mocked.
he actually moved to a different hotel, and ticket sales were really shitty, and then he unexpectedly died.
You
Interesting.
tell me what happened.
Tell me what happened.
Classic
But he would do
Vegas
like Kermit
behavior.
the Frog,
Okay.
Bill Cosby,
Yeah.
John Travolta.
Did he mention pudding when he would do the Cosby?
Dude. So I'm sitting here like my buzz is gone, from the pre-show drinks. I'm furious. I'm like, who the fuck loves this? I look over and my dad is just
Dying.
loving,
Yeah.
greatest show I've ever seen, arms around me. You can't be like mad at your dad, but I'm like, who is this for? It's for
Yeah, it's for
that.
them.
It's for that.
60-year-old people
And
to
this guy
enjoy.
made like $12 million a year at
Oh,
least.
yeah.
I mean, shitloads of money. Yeah.
That's
you know what
insane.
pissed me off about him? He had a video in the front. You'd see the video, and it'd be George Burns, Michael Jackson, all these
Yeah.
like cool killer.
He's
great
doing impressions
reel.
of them, or they
Yeah.
were with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
They're
with him.
impressions.
Great
Okay.
impressions of him, right?
Yeah.
And it was a real.
His
he
George
played
Burns impression,
before.
he had a cigar in his mouth.
Wait a
believe that?
minute.
You
Hold
believe
on.
that?
I can see it. I can
Crazy.
see that one now.
Yeah.
Well, so we see all this, and we're like, let's go see him, right? So it's me, Dice, and his 2 kids. We go in there, and the kids were little. We go in, and we thought at least the kids will like it.
Clean show. It's a
We
clean
don't-
show. Yeah.
If we don't like it, we're sitting there, and the kids are like, I can't wait to see him do this guy and that guy and this guy. He didn't do any
do
of the
any of it.
guys in the video.
Sure.
He was like, I'm working on some new stuff, so I'm going to sing these songs. These are my songs that I wrote. I swear, like, at
His
one point-
originals, come on, bro.
yeah,
no.
Dice was
yeah.
booing
No one
him.
wants to see
Dice
that.
was booing him.
He
He was
was?
like, "Doc this,
Yeah.
get out of here."
Oh, wait,
we were
he was
pissed.
doing like the actual Christian rock stuff that
Whatever
you mentioned?
it was, we didn't know.
That
but it
sounds
was,
good.
We were like, where the fuck is George Burns? I never
Yeah.
saw
Doing-
George so bad.
Doing an impression like George W. trying to get cocaine or whatever, that's like an original, at least, scene where you write the dialogue.
Yeah.
When I went and saw Danny Gaines, he would do "You Might Be a Redneck If," but he would do Jeff's joke.
Actual bits.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
that
I've seen
at
that
least is
before.
even more bullshit.
Yeah, that drives
You
me
didn't
crazy.
even write at least
Yeah.
it was hacky and bad, but at least you wrote the dialogue.
Yeah, a guy.
And it's
there's
like this was even he was literally getting a laugh off of it, not a Bill Cosby joke, a joke that Bill Cosby wrote,
Yeah.
or at least his writers wrote.
There was another my main competition doing impressions in Kansas City.
Oh, wow.
He did.
Who could compete?
I know this is going to sound crazy. I think he's the only one who can do it, but he did a Christopher Walken impression.
Wow,
And-
that's
I didn't know
so
people
rare.
did impressions
Yeah.
of Christopher Walken.
And he literally only did lines from movies. And then who are the other ones he did? All the ones he did, he would just do Al Pacino. And there was no
Jack.
jokes. It was just
Jack, yeah.
these are the actual lines from the movie.
Yeah.
You've seen this movie. You love this movie. He did a Jim Carrey impression that was
Sure.
just, all righty then.
Alrighty, yeah.
And I would just sit there like, people would be like, dude, he's pretty good too. I'm like,
Yeah. it's
I'm
not.
leaving. I'm leaving this
Yeah,
place.
I'm gonna get
You
mad.
can have him, Stanford and Sons. I'm
Some
taking
of those
my
fuckers sell a lot of tickets, but I mean,
I'm taking this Willow impression straight to L.A. I'll see you when I'm famous.
I love that there was 2 impressionists in
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Dude, open mics
One
in Kansas
was Missouri,
City.
one was Kansas.
Yeah,
So let's
clearly.
keep it straight. Yeah.
There was
They
a
had the
border
line.
war that never ended.
Rick built a wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did what I had to do.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, people were so. The crowds were great there. Open mic would have like 100 people.
In Kansas City?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then because most of the comics, there's 20
Might move
comics on the
back.
open mic, and they
Yeah.
all brought friends. And then they do at the end of the show. All right, who was
Sure.
the best? And then it was the make noise if you like this guy. And then it was always
competition. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
the one asshole who had 30 friends there, all going crazy.
Always.
Yeah, he's the pride of Blue Springs. Ah! What?
What Blue Spring?
That's one thing that Mitzi did not stand for, competition.
I appreciate that.
Honest to God, because it broke her heart one time. They made her a judge on this thing. I forget what show it was for. Maybe, what was the Star Search? Maybe something along those lines that it was
Keep
new.
it down, please.
Yeah, calm down. It was new in that time.
Sure.
And what's his name? We were talking the harmonica Fleischer.
Charles Fleischer,
Mitzi
legend.
loves Fleischer.
Yeah.
Now this is a very young Fleischer.
I don't
He
even
was-
know who the fuck you're talking
He's the
about.
voice of
Charlie-
Roger Rabbit.
You know
Oh yeah,
Charlie
sure.
Fleischer?
Okay, okay.
And he
yeah.
used to Mitzi would give him a half hour in the main room,
Yeah,
and
he'd
it
bring his
was
own
awful.
microphone.
He had
But
a
it was again
fake crowd work. He had
Yeah.
a notebook with if someone's name was this, then it had 5 words that rhymed with it, so he could do his jive talk character.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
it was pretty.
Oh, George, well, that's a score, John. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
no.
Oh shit! I
God.
actually,
It never was
Michael, note to
updated.
self to take that act from
To
your take that
please.
part out of my act. George, what a scorch!
Seriously, he never updated it, so it was just this nonsense.
Yeah.
We didn't understand it.
Yeah.
By the time
In
we came out.
2003, it was just like, why is
What
this
is
happening?
happening? Yeah, exactly.
Somebody made Mitzi a judge, and she had to choose, and she didn't choose Charlie, and it fucked him up.
Really?
Because Mitzi was his mentor.
Sure.
But the other guy had a better set, or whomever it was, and she hated comedy competitions. So
Yeah.
anybody that was in them or on, it just bothered her. This whole Last Comic Standing, that would drive her nuts.
She wouldn't be down.
Yeah.
Last Comic Standing is such bullshit, and it's like
Yeah, it's not. I get it. It's
you
not
know,
real
but
anyways,
it's like I like the comics that are on the show,
Yeah,
and
it's a
they're
good-
trying to advance their careers. But it's
That's
just
right.
anytime I meet anybody who doesn't know anything about this city or this world, oh, you like Last Comic Standing, and it's like I hate that's your
Impression of comedy?
barometer for
Yeah.
comedy. It isn't a competition thing.
But some great comics came out of it.
For sure, some great comics out, yeah.
Ari
Ari was
Shafir and
not
I
on
had
that.
this. No,
No way.
Ari called me one time when it's like, hey, I got to do this audition, and I say I have to bring a friend, and I think Ren Azizi was out of town, so he's like, so do you want to go with me? I'm like, sure. So we go, and it was like the USA Network wanted to make a reality show about 2 friends
No.
traveling around road trip style or something.
Okay,
So they just brought us in, and they just turned on a camera, and they're
go.
like, yeah, talk, interact, whatever. So it's just
Oh,
me and
it's
Ari
fucking
sitting
awkward.
awkwardly, just like, this is terrible. I'm like,
It's
what?
already my asshole was bleeding.
Oh, it's like,
okay,
Ari-
I don't know what to do
Yeah.
about it.
What I remember was just maybe like, what are we doing here? And I was like, there's supposed to be an audition, I guess. I'm not really sure what we're supposed to do. I'm like, I don't think we're going to get the part. And so it's like just us being assholes. Once we realized what was going on, it's like, we're fucking dicks.
around.
Yeah.
So we started messing around, and the guy came in. All right, cool, interesting, man. You guys definitely got a cool vibe. I was just sitting there like this asshole, and he starts talking to us. So you guys you both do comedy? And yeah, man. You guys familiar at all with Last Comic Standing? And we were like, oh yeah, that shit's so bad. And he's like, we produced that. And I
Oh
was like,
shit!
Ari's like, oh well, I mean,
Shit, it would be
congrats
nice
for
to
you
have
guys.
known this.
Yeah.
Why did you say something? You
That's
should've
cool that
said
you guys do that, but those comics are all pretty much terrible. And I was like, don't think we're probably going to get this. But
something. We produced that.
and
Oh
Ari
my
still,
We that's our bread and butter.
Well,
God. That's so Ari.
That's how I
least-
feed my children.
at least once a year, I'll see Ari and he'll be like, did USA Network contact you yet? All right. No, I mean, it's been 9 years,
Still
but
haven't heard a definite
waiting.
no.
yeah.
A show about comics on the road would be funny as long as you never showed the actual stand-up comedy show
Yeah.
and just showed how fucking it'd be sad.
Yeah.
It'd be like a suicide tutorial.
just classical music over a comic sitting in his room watching Forensic Files for 6 hours.
I can't believe comics did it without internet.
Oh, yeah. That
Like,
would've been
you know,
brutal.
Can you
Wi-Fi's
imagine
changed
that?
everything with like Netflix and streaming and all.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I can't believe you motherfuckers did it without the internet, old,
you just
guys.
bought those $9 Holiday Inn movies on
Right.
pay-per-view. and
Right.
You
Yeah.
just did it.
Spent a fortune on that.
Yeah.
What I'm impressed about, you're talking about the internet and all that stuff, like Dom Irera, again, not to drop names, but
I don't think you'd be accused of
every
that.
city he goes in, he has like tons of friends.
For sure.
Because he didn't have the internet. He had to go out and mingle.
Meet
at
That's how you
people's
did
bars. And literally has like best friends. He's like, oh, I'm going to Columbus. I can't wait. I'm like,
I get to see
"Where the
fucking
fuck you
Patty
going,
and Joe,
Columbus?"
and it's
Yeah.
like, well, I
He's
went.
like,
yeah.
oh, they still come on the TV. I'm like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he's
But-
just so likable too. He can make, he makes friends.
I just
he wouldn't
disappear.
Just stay in and jerk off. He would actually go outside and
Yeah.
look for something.
That's weird.
Jerk
Go
Yeah.
out,
on.
jerk off on Joe and
Sorry.
Patty.
Joe, Patty from
They got a
Cleveland.
great house
Sorry,
for jerking
Patty.
off.
Yeah,
No question about it. He took me to Columbus, and I can tell you, we jerked off together at Patty's place. Joe's passed on since then, so
Yeah.
she was excited just to see.
someone else was finally jerking
Yeah.
off.
That's awesome. That's nice.
Yeah, I would be miserable. I mean, when
Do you do a lot of road work? Yeah.
Yeah, I do like 2 weekends a month usually, so
good.
it's
That's
good.
good
It's a
pay.
perfect amount.
Yeah.
But yeah, I complain about it, but I'm very lucky to have it. It's
Yeah.
how I survive and get to,
live in LA the rest of
live
the time.
in LA. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it is like some weekends I'll fly home and be like, I actually think this whole weekend all I did was tell them to stop texting. Like,
Jesus.
or like I had a bunch of bits I wanted to work on, and it's like all I'm
work
doing is policing the room, or
Right.
the micro. Like recently, I did a gig, and the whole weekend we could not get the sound right. Like they couldn't. I kept sitting in the
That's
back for
crazy.
the opening acts. I was like, I can't understand anybody, and I'm up there performing. I'm like, I know this joke usually does this.
Yeah, it'll work at
And
this
I know,
point.
and,
It'll do this,
I
yeah.
don't think it's my performance. I mean, we could argue that maybe, but I've done it enough times. I've been doing it for 9 years, the same joke. So
Yeah.
but it's like, why is the sound bad? Well, you couldn't get the sound right, but it doesn't fucking matter. They're trying to sell mozzarella sticks and fucking
Yeah,
drinks.
chicken fingers and.
But
yeah.
I'm also happy every fucking time when they hand you a check
Right.
and you fly home and you're like, I did get paid to do this stupid thing.
Yeah, I worked for 4 hours basically,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah,
Did you ever go on stage high or drunk?
for sure. Yeah.
Like all the time? No.
No, I mean,
I've
it's
never seen you drunk. I
Really?
guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've been drunk a lot here. I mean, I need to probably be more professional. Like, it's hard to
Really?
sometimes see this as your workspace.
Mm-hmm.
Because so I very rarely drink before I go on stage now. Very rarely, because I just would. It's like this
Take it
isn't
too
as
hard,
good. It's
yeah.
just not. I just wasn't as sharp. I like to do a little bit of crowd work. I find when I'm drunk, it is just garbage. It is like I can't listen. I forget what they said.
that's why I had to stop smoking pot.
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
much of crowd work is listening, and like
Absolutely.
you can't.
Your brain has to be sharp.
If they
otherwise
say they're from
it's-
Arizona, I've got to know what to say about Arizona, and like if I am
You start
so-
talking about Texas, it gets
yeah, it's
uncomfortable.
fucking weird.
Like,
So,
wait a minute.
but yeah, early on, I mean, a lot of Saturday shows, I was pretty wasted.
Just here, like not.
Oh
on
no,
the
I mean
road.
just on the road. Yeah, like on
Oh,
the road. Late
Oh, shit.
shows.
Okay. Yeah, the late
Fucking
show. I can
and
see
the
that.
staff would just get you so drunk, and
Yeah,
I think I'll be accurate when I say this. I think my show actually was fine. I'm not saying it was my strongest, but I think it wasn't like. But a couple years ago, I remember I did a show somewhere, and like it went well, but I recorded it and I watched back, and I was just like, that was not to my standards for what I wanted to do, and I was
Right.
like, I was fucking drunk.
Yeah.
It's like, so clean it up. You're fucking over 30 now. Time to treat it kind of like a job.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Kind of
Here
professional.
I'm
Well, see, here
frightened to do it because
really?
because I first of all, I know comics understand that, but there's so much competition here.
Oh,
like
yeah.
everyone before you and after you is fucking good at comedy.
Yeah.
And like I can't be the guy that night that was like, yo, why did we put him up when there's fucking 80 people
Waiting.
standing out there
Yeah.
that would do a better job than that.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
I guess so.
I have a hard time doing that here. I have a much easier time doing it in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Sure.
When even I know I'm wasted, I'm probably funnier than the other two comics on the bill.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's tough in most of the like. If I was in Tampa, when I used to go on the road with Paulie, we'd go to these really shitty places, and the
Yeah.
only way I was surviving was getting really hammered, getting as high as someone would get
Sometimes
me.
you just got to get drunk to help you sleep through the next day.
yeah,
That's why I would
Yeah,
get drunk.
it's
Get me
wasted
so I don't
day.
have to figure out the day tomorrow.
yeah.
In this shit town. So what would you do? But you would do crowd work or material?
I did a lot more material at that point. I was,
Yeah.
I mean,
You did more
I was,
time than Paulie, or same time?
It depended. There was by the end before I got.
I would think that was a real question. I'd be like, I figured Paulie would be doing the most amount of time, but no.
When I got released from the Paulie tour,
Right.
I would say he had me featuring at that point. I started out opening. I'd do 15. Simone would do like 25, and then Paulie would usually do like 40. And then for a while, it was just me and Paulie, and they would have a local guy open, and it was just like, the shittiest. Oh, he's the angry clown. And then that guy got there, and he'd do the same road opener shtick. If there's a fire, everyone run and scream. And like his terrible fake announcement jokes. And then Paulie would have me do 30, because it'd usually be 15, 25. And then after the first show, that comic would be so bad, Paulie would be like, all right, dude, you're only doing 7, or you're doing 10.
Right.
And then I'd have to do 30. And then by the end of it, I was doing pretty well. And then it would be like Paulie would struggle at first, and then he would end up bailing at like 30 or 25. And then the manager would be like, what's he doing? I'd be like, I don't know. I guess he just wasn't feeling it.
Right.
And then, dude, you can't do those jokes. Like, I was 23. It's like, those are the only jokes I have.
I can't adjust my act.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
This is what I am.
That's the headliner's job, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by the end, I think I was doing equal time. But then it wasn't too long after that where it's just like, dude, you're not cut out for this job, bro. Like, what?
Really?
Yeah.
He fired me from working the door while I was on the road with him for not getting a shift covered. And then
That's fucking cool. Where were you? Remember?
I was in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay.
And he was supposed to take Rent Is Easy, and Steve booked a commercial. And
Bastard.
so I got the call on Wednesday that we were going to Columbia on Thursday, and I said, cool. I got Friday.
Get the door guys shift covered. They're
I got
doing
Friday
podcasts and
covered.
stuff. You can't get them up
Yeah,
there.
they're doing podcasts back then.
I did not get Saturday covered, and Dean called and narked me out, and we got the parking lot guy doing double duty, bro, because Rick didn't do shift cover.
That's who was here when I started,
Yeah.
Dean.
Isn't that weird? Like,
Yeah.
you think of him like, wait,
So
he's in
funny.
charge?
I
So
know.
he,
I know.
then Paulie fired me over dinner. It's like, bro, I heard you didn't get your door shift covered last night. I'm like, what?
Did he pay for dinner?
He would pay, but his big thing was always eating almost the whole meal and then complaining and saying he didn't want to pay for it. He was that guy. And then it'd be like, and he wouldn't tip, so I'd end up like leaving like a $10 tip because he was such an asshole and he didn't tip.
That's not good.
And then I'm like, I'm making $500 a month, and I'm tipping people at restaurants because my fucking creepy Uncle Paulie is a
Creepy.
lunatic. Dude.
Hey, Paulie, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Come on in,
Thanks for
Paulie.
coming in.
He knows.
Get me on the
He knows it all.
podcast. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I want to bring him down.
He keeps
Fight
telling
like
me.
crazy.
He'd be
We'll see
great.
what happens.
You guys
Yeah.
fighting?
I mean, I'm sure we'd be. Well, I'm sure our memories of the same stories would be
different.
So it'd be fun
Much
to
different.
hear his side of what a douche he is most of the time. Great guy, though. Great guy.
Do you bring openers with you, or do you request people, or you
About if it's a club I've been to a bunch, yes, I bring somebody and I try to mix it up a lot.
Yeah.
And then if it's a new club, I usually try not to ask.
Because we were just talking about this upstairs. What do you do if a feature is like starting to get stronger?
Yeah.
And it just like basically is what happened to
Yeah.
Rick,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Pretty ball.
I mean, it's good. It's good. It's good. It should
For
keep.
the feature, but then do you keep them? Or
I
no?
think it's good for the headliner if the feature's getting stronger. It
agree.
keeps you on your fucking toes. The only thing I really give a fuck about is if our styles are similar.
Similar.
Yeah, I don't want a
Similarity
similar
is no
style,
good.
so I try really hard to not have a similar style. But I mean, then if I'm asking someone to come with me, but no, the show, I like that.
You want a better show.
I want
right?
them to fucking make me go like, shit, you better
gotta
not
bring it.
fuck around.
Yeah.
Because just so often, so often, the opening acts are so fucking terrible. And I really feel like, I'm not saying I'm like Mr. Comedy, but I feel like the first time maybe that they're hearing a professional comedian is the headliner, and their audience is all fucked up at that point. They're like,
You want somebody to warm up the crowd.
I want someone that's going to let them know, like, well, we may challenge what you're thinking about. We're going to try to like have clever writing and be smart, and lots of times it's just hacky shit, and then that's what they get used to. Or
Yeah.
I hate that. So I would much rather have by far the most important thing is it's someone that you can hang out with for 3 days. By far.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's
then
a
it's
big
like,
thing.
is their show good and funny? But I'm usually like, do I really want to spend every meal with this person?
Yeah.
It's probably how everyone hires in Hollywood too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do I really want to
Eat
be in a
so
movie
much.
set with this? You eat so much. There's so many
He's
craft
having 3
services.
squares a day, like he's a Marine
Yeah.
or something.
So, but I like it when they're funny. Personally,
No, that's good. But a lot of people like
Yeah, I think
mad and they,
they're insecure
you're also
about their comedy.
Yeah, and you're still coming up with new bits
Yeah.
and stuff. Like you said,
I'm
like
trying.
you want to work out new material. A lot of the old time headliners on road comics,
Yeah.
they aren't working out new material. I mean,
Don't
they're
get
out
me
there-
wrong. I say that. And I get up there, and as soon as you say something new, it doesn't work. I'm like, okay, let's get
doing
the
that,
old
yeah.
fucking record out.
Back.
Let's get,
You're going.
yeah, new old album.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, your old material wasn't sharp in '86.
Right.
And,
Yeah,
and now it's
exactly.
gotten a little
Those guys,
dusty.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I did a La Jolla
2016,
show.
yeah.
I did a La Jolla show at a comic one time who was doing strong original Gulf War material.
Oh Jesus!
And it was like the whole crowd was basically like, what the fuck
One of
is
our
he talking
funniest wars.
about? Yeah.
Yeah,
we've
you're
had.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think of comedy,
Yeah.
you
I think of the original Gulf War.
GW1, I call it.
No, is there ever like a time you go up and you're like, I can't say these words anymore? Like,
Yeah, I
Do you
mean,
have
you
bits
don't
that
you
you
don't
just-
believe in the old bits, and
Yeah.
it's. I hope I don't get there with some stuff, but yeah, some of the stuff, it just doesn't. You don't really believe in it, or when you wrote it. By the time you wrote it and then are now performing it and it now works, it's been like a long time.
yeah.
So like your brain and your personality and your life are much different than when you
Attitude is,
wrote
yeah.
that joke, you know?
Yeah.
So those are very hard to perform.
Yeah, and if you revisit one that like
So
you're
funny.
like, oh, that got stale, and I left, and then you revisit it, you're like, oh, that still works.
Yeah.
Like, it is
The
kind of
words
hard
work.
To
The words
throw
work.
the
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
And even though you wanna keep going, but sometimes it's hard. You
It's
just
nice
gotta-
to get laughs.
Yeah, that's weird.
Laughs are fucking
That's
helpful.
weird.
And
Yeah.
if those get laughs there, it's nice.
I
Yeah.
love when people go up and they're like, I'm fine with no laughter. I'm like, what?
No, who would ever say that? Then you're
So
now
many comics.
now you're giving a speech.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of comics who do that, which is like the hack
Yes.
cover for
Yeah.
bombing.
Yeah.
Like Kirk
like-
Fox used to do it all the time. I want nothing. It's like, no, you wanted something, but you,
You
didn't
wanted
get
something.
it. So now you're going with you.
I sometimes write like really like honest, raw. I think I'm getting to the truth here stuff, and I'll always try it, and it's always like I'm giving a speech, and it's like I'm not a fucking lecturer.
Yeah.
I'm a comedian. So what the fuck am I
Professor
doing?
Kosta.
I mean, I do love comedy that has like that shit in it.
yeah.
But funny is always the first fucking rule.
Yeah.
Always. And so
It has
it's always funny when I read that stuff in here and I'm like, what are you fucking
Great point. Great point
academia?
by me.
Yeah, great point. It's not no one's laughing.
Yeah.
Great point,
That's
dickhead.
whenever people tell me
It's a
about
clever set.
there some Bill Hicks thing that they love, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. I'm like, okay, and they send it to me, and I listen to it. I'm 90% of the time when someone sends me a Bill Hicks clip, in my mind I go, I mean, that was a pretty good point in 1992. I don't know that it was funny in 1992 either, but
It seemed
now it's just
like-
like, all right, that guy.
That's how I feel about
He had to
Carlin
take
a
a-
lot.
I agree.
I agree.
I feel like I'm hearing a smart person share their opinion on the world, which
On
is
society,
great.
yeah.
I'm not laughing.
Yeah, it's a great sociology point,
Yeah.
just not a funny joke at all.
He did 10 days in the main room one time.
No,
I-
Carlin?
Yeah. when I was
Jesus.
Waiting tables. 10 days. Yeah, 10 days. That's right. Because Jackie Mason did it as well. Jackie destroyed. I
Really?
barely knew what he was saying, but he was destroying. Those old Jews just went crazy for
Right,
him.
right.
I never served so much tea and coffee as a
Oh,
waitress.
fuck.
I wanted to kill myself. But
I'm sure.
Carlin,
Yeah.
Carlin
never good.
got a different crowd, they
Sure.
were drinking whatever. But I remember thinking, wow, I'm going to get to see Carlin.
Yeah.
This is awesome. This is like a big deal. Like Carlin, everybody talking. And the first like 30 minutes was all on farting. And I was like, you're 70.
Yeah, society
get
though,
it. You don't have
it's like,
control.
is this where we've gotten as a
And
society?
for him, it
Dude,
was.
it fucked me up. I was pissed. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that would suck.
What?
That would suck.
I mean, I'm okay. The first 10 minutes,
Yeah.
30.
30 minutes.
10 minutes of farting stuff is still a little
a lot of farting
extensive.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
You throw in 45 seconds of
get to
farting.
the
By the end,
shit.
I'm like,
Get to a
yeah,
shit bit.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
The farting's got to go somewhere.
Yeah,
You're saying
now
you want a
shit your pants.
crescendo
At this point,
of
you shit your pants.
yeah.
It's gotta end. Who were your big comedy influences? Speaking of shit,
I loved
humor.
Gary Shandling.
Yes.
Loved even
you did love Gary Shandling.
Don't,
yeah.
Ricky,
Okay.
we're gonna argue over this. He was fucking hilarious.
Well,
Listen,
no.
I don't have any problem.
Let
with
me
people
finish my
like,
point.
Yeah,
Let me finish
okay.
my point. Let me finish my point.
Hold on. Got yelled at.
I loved his first show. This is the Gary Shandling show or whatever it was
Larry
called.
Sanders.
Larry Sanders.
Well, no, and then but that was
Oh,
before
right.
Larry Sanders.
Right. There was one before. Right.
Okay.
This is the Gary Shandling show.
Yes.
It was like the song. I loved that. I loved Larry Sanders. I loved his first Tonight Show appearance. And many years later, I worked with him all the time at Comedy and Magic Club, and I can safely say that the stand-up was not there. Like now, the most recently, so I didn't love him then, but I was, as a kid, introduced to his comedy. It got me excited to be a comedian. Dennis Miller was the very first concert I ever went to. My mom took me to see Dennis Miller.
How was that?
I didn't understand anything he fucking said. I
Yes.
loved his arrogance. I loved his certainty on
Did you
stage.
like Dennis Miller?
No,
Me either.
not
Yeah,
particularly.
no,
but
okay.
He ruined Monday Night Football. Remember that?
I liked him on
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I thought he was great
I
on
love
Weekend
his
Update.
stand-up.
I didn't
This
understand a lot of
Off-White
it too,
album,
but
I mean, is fucking fantastic.
yeah.
Live in DC, I think, is fantastic. I loved Bill Cosby. I went and saw him
yeah,
a
Bill
bunch of
was
times.
great.
I saw him a bunch of times. And Don Rickles I've always loved.
Yeah,
Who
Rickles is
doesn't-
great.
Who doesn't love Don Rickles?
Bill Cosby is terrific. We listened to Bill Cosby or watched
Blasphemy.
Bill Cosby himself. I know it's terrible.
Jerry
He was great.
Sandusky, he was high on my list. Oh,
It's
no.
so fucking
That's
weird to
pedophilia.
say you like Bill
That's
Cosby as
different.
comedy,
I know.
but it's like, come on, he influenced everybody.
But it
Yeah.
was such a big deal. I mean, we watched that Bill Cosby himself over and
Yeah.
over
I-
and over again. I mean, I could
I
play the
definitely-
parts.
Yeah.
Definitely listened to a lot of Cosby without any issue. The
So-
Shandling thing is the only
Yeah, I want
reason
to hear your Shandling thing. Opinion.
I didn't really feel either way about Gary Shandling's
Indifferent.
comedy. I
But
I
even
saw
in movies and like his TV show, you didn't like.
I wasn't a big
thought
fan.
it was
I thought it was
Alright.
okay. I think he was funny in some things
Sure.
for
It's
sure.
So dry,
But-
sentimental.
I know.
I just never heard anyone say Gary Shandling was
The best stand-up.
yeah, like a great
He was
comic. But then when he
wasn't
died,
the best stand-up.
when he
No.
died, suddenly the amount of people that were on Twitter and on social media
Yeah.
being like,
yeah.
Gary Shandling influenced me so much. I'm just like, like
There was
were
a
people I
fucking
talked to.
fucking official announcement for the
Yeah.
Comedy Store was put up about Gary Shandling's death.
Yeah.
I was like,
But
a
that's
motherfucker
Mitzi's baby.
motherfucker was killed in the front bar. There wasn't an announcement about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And this,
Well, that wasn't Mitzi's baby.
That wasn't
and he
Mitzi's
never
ba- yeah.
showcased.
yeah.
Had he showcased and that happened,
Yeah.
he was
then
just
maybe.
so like in the green room at the Comedy Magic Club. Gary was just the best to talk to.
Yeah,
That must have been.
maybe he's funnier off stage.
I remember like Mike Lacey came in one time, who was the owner, and said, "Gary, can I talk to you privately?" And Gary stood up and left, but right before he stood up, he took a knife and he slid it under his shirt, like he was going to go kill Mike Lacey.
so
No
silly.
one else saw it. There was a full room, only us, and I still tell the story to everybody. I'm like, that was such a subtle, hilarious thing, and that would just
Yeah.
sums him up perfectly.
That is funny.
So he's gonna
But
go
that's
kill
the
the
kind of
yeah.
shit I see him like
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
head. That's how I see him.
My-
But maybe it's not his stand up; it's him.
His stand-up
on his
wasn't-
show.
yeah.
or
My one interaction with him was amusing. He basically gave me shit. I can't remember. It might have been Dom or someone introduced me to him in the hallway, and he asked me if I was a regular, and I said, "Oh yeah." And he said, "How long have you been a regular?" And I said, "Like it's like 5. I've been a regular for 5 years." Something. He's like, "Oh, how old are you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm 26." And he was like, "So you've been a regular since you were 21?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "How many times did you showcase?" I go, "Just the once."
Oh, yeah, 'cause he did.
He's like, "Oh, you're the comic that I was supposed to tell to go fuck yourself." And I was like, I just laughed.
That's
Like, that's
funny.
funny, yeah.
Yeah.
because
But-
it took him 7 years.
But there was like
Did it
so,
really? Oh
there's
my
so many
God.
comics that I had even talked to before that had never mentioned them that suddenly were on Twitter that were like,
Oh, of course. That's
Gary
so-
Shandling.
Every
It's
time
like-
somebody dies,
Yeah.
they heroicize him.
There's-
But Gary, like when the only time I met him was with Mitzi, and the whole time I never saw. Like to me, I look up to Gary. I was like, oh, this guy's so fucking funny, right? And then he was so nervous around Mitzi, it made me laugh. Like it was like
That's so funny.
yeah, how is
But
this
he was
guy?
afraid.
Yeah.
And she kept bringing up, remember that joke, Gary? It was awful. He kept doing it. And he's sweating. He's like, I know. But And
He seemed a bit
he's sweating.
insecure.
He's hosting the Emmys in a couple
Yeah.
weeks, and he's so nervous about what she's bringing up, and she's laughing about
The
this
comedy
joke,
witch is
and he's
about
like,
ready
"You
to-
gotta let it go, Mitzi.
Yeah.
You gotta let it go." Like,
Yeah.
he was. So,
He's fucking.
But it was amazing to me to watch him, like, kind of like be nervous around her.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that
It's
she
funny.
told me it took him 7 years to get past. Because
Jesus
he wouldn't let
Christ.
this one joke go. And she was like, tell her the joke. And he's like, I'm not doing the joke. I'm not doing the joke. Like, he was so mad. But it was like one of my favorite moments
Yeah.
That's funny.
working for her. Like, just nervous wreck, like watching him squirm.
And
Watching
she
a
was-
successful person act like
She
an open
was-
micer.
Her approval was the most important.
To a
It's
lot
like a
of them.
mother or a father. Yeah.
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 We saw, I don't know if you were here for this, but Dice and Eddie Griffin got into a fight in the kitchen.
I was here for
Oh,
that.
no.
That
Yeah.
was a good one.
Yeah.
right?
Great.
And then they were both going to be
Good
banned.
battle. Yeah.
They were both going to be banned. It was a big thing. And then Mitzi came in, and I never saw two of the most successful comics here at that time run to her side and sit there. Mitzi, this is what happened. Like
Like a
little
mom.
boys,
Like a fucking
Yeah.
mom.
little boys, like Eddie Griffin, hardcore, and Dice sitting there. They were both like Dice was in full regalia with the leather jacket, and
full
Eddie was in
regalia.
his big shorts with his high hat, and they were sitting there just begging her to please don't ban them.
That's funny.
And we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Like I was peeing myself, putting my drinks on my tray. Like this can't be real.
That's fucking
And
funny.
she was just probably like, "Oh God, I don't want to deal with this.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are going up after each other
Might
for the
be
next 2
happening.
weeks."
Yeah. And then she'll call the waitress over or somebody over that she trusts or another comic. Tell me the truth. What happened? You know, and then you have to tell the whole story.
You have to
Oh,
decide
She's
which.
running a clubhouse as well, not just a
fuck
comedy
yeah.
club.
She's running a
A children's
children's
club out,
people
people are
Fraternity.
insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like outside McDonald's, the little playland.
We all want in the ball pit, but there's only enough room for a few of us.
Yeah, the ball pit is dirty, boy.
God,
Isn't it?
I
love
think
it.
we're in it right now.
What is the worst advice you've ever gotten?
I think advice in general is pretty
Aside from not hanging at the back door.
Yeah, don't hang at the back door.
Clearly the best advice out there.
I mean, I think any older comic that has like definite rules about how to succeed is so wrong. I just think this is such an open path to so many different people. Like
Everyone's got an individual journey
it's
that's
an
going to be
individual
different.
journey, and like I remember like Greg Proops one time I worked with him, and he was like, you may need to go to Amsterdam and then come back and move to LA, and someone else may need to do this and do that. Like, I can't, no one knows, because I probably asked him for some advice, and he was like, there is no advice. Like, obviously stage time and be funny, but so I think the worst things that set me in the wrong direction were like people that I didn't think were funny would tell me stuff, and then I would, I guess, believe it because they were in the game longer.
They've been longer, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, no, I mean,
You're like,
it
oh, he
is
must
so
know.
individual.
Yeah.
It's so individual. So it's hard. Any concrete advice is probably bad. So I don't have a specific example, but
I think don't listen to most people's advice is great
it's pretty
advice.
good advice.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
that's legitimately
Yeah.
better than
Yeah.
anything most people have told me. So,
Yeah. Do you have
um,
any more questions?
no, do you have stuff to promote?
Oh yeah.
So we're both on the All Things Comedy Network, I believe.
That's
know,
right.
isn't that
That's
great?
correct.
So
Yeah.
please listen to my worst birthday podcast.
It's fun.
Rick,
Worst birthday?
yeah, you just tell me your worst birthday. I'll definitely have you on if you have a worst birthday.
Oh, all of them.
I'm sure you
So,
do. Great.
yeah,
Rick
44,
Ingram's
so
is
it's gonna be a good
fantastic.
one.
44 coming up. Rick literally goes into diabetic shock on his
Yeah.
birthday,
Oh,
and
that was on your birthday.
Yeah,
And it was
30th.
30th of all.
So,
It's a really, really funny, honest, raw
That's a great
health.
idea, though. Yeah.
Birth. It's just funny. They're all real. They're all organic, and that's what I would recommend people check out. So
Yeah, it's fun.
Thank you very much for having me on the podcast.
Twitter.
Michael Kosta, everything. Website, live shows, Twitter, Instagram. Everything is at Michael Kosta. So when's this going up, guys?
We're
you
a couple
know?
weeks out.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, okay, we're banking. We're doing
Yeah.
a bank.
We're banking it.
All right, great.
Yep.
So see all my live dates at michaelcosta.com.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm Rick Ingram.
I'm Eleanor Kerrigan.
I'm Michael Kosta.
All right, you already said that.